birthday Hawa, birthday Washai, birthday Hawa, birthday Washai, birthday Hawa, birthday Washai, call Allah Yahweh, Al-Hayna Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Chakudash. All praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Chakudash. Bless you, Yahweh. Bless you in the name of the only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Allah Yah, wa Yahweh Shai. Praise Yahweh and the Son, Yahweh Shai. Of course, giving double honors to our apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, who well, peace and salutations to the election, the first fruits, the choicest parts, and whom the Lord will have mercy upon in these times, the Bachayarim. All right, that's the election or the selection of the best ruled. All right, hand-picked it, selected by Yahweh, given unto his Son, Yahweh Shai, that will, of course, rule in the kingdom in their proper order. All right, of course, the kingdom is soon to be established when Yahweh Shai come back and take down the dominion of the heathen, starting with Esau, Edom. All right, Babylon the Great fallen. All right, and of course our rise. All right, so of course giving double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. If I forgot to say that, sorry. All right, our Salakia, Shemiah Machma, names of Machma, my young God Waller Rakab Machana from the Great Millstone Plaintables Camp, located here in the city of Philadelphia. I'm Lamadi Ma'ait, coming with a lesson little or a wee lesson. So this wee lesson is just something in the spirit. I'm gonna first just touch on I guess like prudence and wisdom, which we're learning, of course, we being in training, all right, to be the rulers, all right, of all heaven and earth as joint heirs under Yahweh Shai. Let me see what ended up happening. So we live in these terrible situations. I mean, some brothers can have better situations than others, but I live in an apartment. Many of us live in these apartments and such, and we really prefer our own dwelling away from pretty much the outsiders, these heathen. All right, because we want to live peaceful lives. Well, you have it living on top of somebody's apartment with noise. It's be excessive. You know what I mean? With a particular person and their actually son living above me. So of course, over the years and such, having different clashes and such, it just came to a point where it's like now it's like, I remember it just was so excessive, and then I would just knock on the ceiling, maybe possibly get some type of relief or remedy. But the spirits, it seemed as if it's actually increasing in noise and such. So what I ended up doing was I always be saying I'm gonna basically speak to the person, the chick, she got different issues on her own, and basically I saw her son come open the door and then ran through and such, and I was just like saying, "What's up, young bull?" or something like that, like, "What's up, youngin?" And then she came, of course, afterwards, and she was just like, "Oh, is he disturbing you?" And I'm like, "Nah, he's a kid." Pretty much. I mean, he's a heathen kid. That's why I judge it through his spirit. I believe she's a heathen as well. Going back to Ham, but long story short, I had it's a short little discourse with her, about the whole situation, and it seems as if we're a bit cordial, and like a lot of times, like especially us, we have it where we may have get hot and such, but especially at these times we have to utilize temperance. Okay, temperance, which basically going into self-government and such, and having basically control over your spirit, while you're in this flesh and such. So what I'm gonna do real quick is first just define that word for temperament, which or temperance, I'm just going to do, which is a self-restraint, okay, moderation, going into discretion, which discretion goes also into to judge. All right. From temperance, which is a present principle of tempere, which is to moderate. Okay. Moderation. Yeah, you see that. So, having moderation, because you would want to, like I say, if you don't have moderation, within your actual constitution, you would, flip out, off of just the smallest things and such, and we can't be that way. Moderation goes into not excessive in amount or intensity. Okay, so having the ability to keep your cool is actual godly characteristic. All right, in righteousness, that is, because you actually are called in law, statutes, commandments to be, as the scriptures say, to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, and that's of course a commandment by Yahweh Shai, all right, the Son of the Most High, all right, which gave unto us, which is very, very, very prudent words in our walk, our actual course of life, all right, while we're here, all right, in subjection under Esau, Edom, and Babylon. Okay, which like I said, I was very thankful. I was just meditating on it because I'm like, yo, like, I was going to do a deep thought, thinking, and I'm just like, what I'm gonna do? Hit up Leeson? They're not gonna do nothing. They already did try that over time and such, and I'm not gonna call up no security and nothing. That's not gonna go nowhere either. I mean, it's not even that big. Yes, of course we want to have peace within our houses and such, but our places where we do dwell. But hey, it's all part of the battle. And remember, as the scriptures say, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities, spiritual wickedness in high places, roughly paraphrasing. All right, so believing this in the start, and in the scriptures, okay, with let's see what I wanted to do, because I know I quoted a lot. Find something to do the spirit. I have some scriptures already though, but I know I want to find something do the spirit, talking about basically it's directed to us as future rulers and such. And I believe it's either in Sirach, but we'll get it. But I'm gonna start here in Sirach, the 1st chapter, which it reads here in the 1st verse. All wisdom, which is in the Hebrew chachma, all right, chachma or chakama, or as I pronounce it, from chacham, which means to be wise or prudent. All right, cometh from the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, and is with him forever. Okay. So all the wisdom, it coming from the Lord. All right, that's one thing. All right, this ain't coming of ourselves. This book, and it come, of course, of ourselves. It came, of course, as the scriptures say about the Spirit moved on in holy men. But y'all just get that real quick, because a lot of people be deceived about how, of course, the scriptures came about and such. All right, this is 2 Peter 1:21. It says, for the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man. So this wasn't of the actual delight or pleasure of a man. Okay, all right, this was, as it goes on, but holy men or separate men. All right, men that the Lord reserved to actually do this actual lot. All right, to perform, to execute, according to their ability, which he would give them, of course, a particular measure, all right, prescribed to fulfill it, okay? And we would, of course, commit unto faithful men, all right, and order our household. It says, but holy men of the Most High spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit, all right, which, as we know in Sirach, the Spirit, is, I think that's in Wisdom of Solomon. It's very, let's see, I'll just read it. Yeah, this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter. And it says here, for in verse 24, for wisdom is more moving than any motion. So, wisdom itself is it's in motion. It's more movement than any motion. You know what I mean? So, you have it where a lot of times the first thing that pop up in your head is the law, statute, commandments, because that is more moving than any motion. All right, any other different spirits that go out and such. All right, especially us. Wisdom should lead us in every thought, as the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing. So it says, she passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness, for she is the breath, all right, or the spirit, or of the power of the Most High, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. And that's why, don't marvel why people don't get this, because they're defiled. Okay, of course the elect, they'd be of course washed clean by the word, and ultimately, like I said, they're reserved to Yahweh Shem Yahushai as first fruits. He's gonna of course blot out, or not impute or lay to the charge there the different transgressions or sins that they do commit. All right, but you read that in I believe that's the book of Psalms at the Volume, chapter 119. It might be the first verse. So this, like I said, I'm going in the spirit. It says, "Blessed are the undefiled in the way," right, who walk in the law of the Lord. So we, being of course those that walk in the law of the Torah, all right, which is the law, okay, of the Lord. Okay, we are actually blessed. All right, and Yahweh Tzal be of that undefilement. Okay, it says, "Blessed are they that keep his testimonies and that seek him with the whole heart, your whole mind. They also do no iniquity," or sin upon sin. All right, I whine in some situations, you see in the Hebrew, but they walk in his ways. All right, the actual rock that Yahweh Shem Yahushai set us up, which is these laws, statutes, commandments. All right, that of course showing us what is good. All right, so we just do our best, to walk in wisdom. All right, amongst those that are without, and that itself, in the different situations we put in, which we are to execute wisdom, it gives us practice. Okay, to be able to try out, what's actually written, and then you learn from it. Okay, because sometimes you might do get hot or in the spirit, and then you yelling and acting crazy and such, and like I say, I'm looking stupid. All right, which, like I said, we get that in the scriptures. All right, so this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, and and I'm gonna just bounce around and I'll get to the point. So this is Proverbs 14 actually, in verse 10. It says, "The heart or the mind knoweth his own bitterness, and a stranger doth not intermeddle with his joy." All right, the point being, the heart or the mind knoweth its own bitterness, knows what of course is unpleasant to itself. All right, already. And then of course, since you know that, you don't think these other spirits know what troubles you and what gets you off. You know what I mean? Hey, on a carnal level, too, like these people, they know from different instances we have interactions with them, and they of course hold that in their mind, but the thing is that through this wisdom and such, like I said, we may have an argument with somebody, but then, we correct, and put ourselves under the yoke of discipline, so that, when we put back in that situation, we do what's right. It actually catch these people off guard. All right, in which like I said, it actually results in a form of peace of mind. You know what I mean? Because in a situation with me, it's like I got basically some temporary relief from the kid and the chick, making all the noise and such above me within the house and such, within this dwelling, being stacked up on top of each other. All right. A stranger doth not intermeddle with his joy. All right. So that's heavy. Like a stranger doth not meddle with his joy. Okay. In which I think if we go into this, is basically like how the brother, the Bach, which is the Rash, or the head of the camp, he will always tell me, like, cause like I said, I'm a person that I like a lot of peace, and I pretty much live really. I'm like kind of like you say like reclusive a bit. I kind of stay to myself and such. Obviously, with amongst brothers, it's not the case. But amongst people, like I'm not all up in everybody's business and nothing like that. Or I mean, I ain't gonna say I'm an introvert, but I am outgoing too. But like I said, I pretty much keep to myself. But yeah, and sometimes the way people actually conduct themselves will disturb you a lot. Because obviously you understanding wisdom, you be like, well, they shouldn't really act like that, but we do know it's the different spirits that's on them, and them, of course, lacking ignorance of, even, having any self-awareness of other people, how they make them feel and stuff, you know what I mean? But I want to go into this Proverbs that was 14 and verse 10. The heart knoweth his own bitterness, and a stranger doth not intermeddle with his joy. Okay, so this would be that person, that man's or that person's actual mind. All right, so we're going, and like I said, just through the spirit, breaking it down. I rob, which is meaning to basically give a pledge or a surety, to meddle. Okay, to undertake or share. All right, so yeah, like, so a stranger don't have no basically no business with your joy. All right, at all. I'm gonna just kind of see, maybe check also in a maybe in another translation. Okay. Yeah, exactly. In the New King James Version, it says, the heart knows its own bitterness, and a stranger does not share its joy. So, somebody else, being a stranger, all right, they don't have no part in my actual joy. Like saying like, are like basically business messing with my joy and stuff like that. Because if you haven't, of course, control of your mind, how to, of course, handle that, or how to actually, I would say, like take it in, or let me see, I'm losing the actual word that I actually really want, like the way that you, like you take it in, or to react, ultimately, you know what I mean? Like if you have like knowing what bitter, and of course people gonna act stupid and stuff like that, you're like, all right, man, that person just obviously they are ignorant. I mean, they wicked, whatever it may be. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use wisdom, which is gonna protect my mind from actually like bitterness or anything, whatever it may be. So that's a really, really beautiful precept to kind of give light to what the brothers say about, like, not basically letting people get to you and such like that. You know what I mean? Because he will always tell me this. Like, we'll be at a like going out, brothers will go out to eat, and then we'll get somebody. I remember this one time we went and dined out here, and what ended up happening is the lady was like, the lady that being the server, she was just looking at us with all these assumptions and stereotypes and such, like Like say if so, all right, can we get another refill for a drink? Oh yeah, well you can, but that's gonna be $5. We're not worried about that. Can you get I want to get some pancakes. All right, what kind of pancakes do you use? We got many kinds of pancakes. And the way she was actually communicating it, it wasn't in a pleasant or hospitable way. The way she was doing it was like she was miserable. You could feel the energy that she's miserable, and she really don't want you to be there, and she don't really want to serve you. And then the brother was just like, I ain't gonna really worry about her or nothing like that. But I was just like blown away in general by her conduct and how she's handling herself. And I was just like, this chick don't know. I tell her about herself, kind of like, look, listen, like why are you acting like this and stuff? You know how it would be. You wanna, you especially know also how to, if you had a so-called black woman around or something like that, she is snap on her, but then you probably got to worry about somebody spitting in your food or something. Or even her maybe matching that same energy of aggression right there with you. You know what I mean? Which, like I said, goes on with this one precept, which I'm going to bring out too. It tells you that a soft answer, this is probably, this is the first verse of the next chapter. All right? Which Proverbs is great, wise sayings, and help you within your walk with Yahweh Shem Shai. All of this is in the book of the Lord and the law, the writings, the histories, etc. is for our learning. Okay, it says a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Right, and if you have some harsh words and such like that, which grievous go into itazab in the Hebrew, which that means basically offensive, all right, or hardship, painful words and such. You would basically be saying, some harsh words and such. Then that makes somebody, like if I say, all right, itch, you know what I mean? You ain't gonna be treating me like that. You know what I mean? And snapping, this chick like, man, you don't have to be here. Like she'll get snappy right there on you too. You know what I mean? So this is where having a soft answer turneth away the actual hot, the heat, or what this word in the Hebrew is, which is wrath or chama, all right, which is basically hot or heat, or indignation, righteous anger, or displeasure, hot displeasure. All right, her snapping on you. She might spill coffee. You never know with these people, these spirits on them these days. So that's why you have to know how to give a soft answer, and it don't make you, of course, effeminate by doing this, because you got simple Jake to probably, you just gonna let them punk you out. And look, you gotta understand. You have to understand the wisdom and how to walk. All right, like some people think that you can't just take the low and just go and keep moving. You know what I mean? I remember to one place, they was looking all crazy, like this place here in Philly, and they was looking at me all crazy and stuff. I guess maybe like they get like regulars and they ain't never seen a melanated Jake in there. It seemed like, it's kind of like if like in the old Western movies, somebody walk in a bar and then everybody look like, who's this person? Everybody looking and drop they beers and whatever, and they like something about to go down or something. It was like that type of moment, and I kept my cool and stuff, and then I just got out of there eventually. I was like, hey, let me get this. I had the food. The food was subpar, and then learn from the experience. I ain't going back to that place, that breakfast place. But yeah, so going into soft is they got rock in the Hebrew, or ra nakah, which is just mean a tender or soft, meaning soft words. Or that's it. Talk soft words, man. It ain't like aggressive, harsh words, grievous words. That's what we, that's the contrary. Okay? It says the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. Right? So you having understanding of how to use your tongue, okay, You using it all right, which just correctly. Let me just look into that if they even got it there. All right, which is yatab, like good maybe. Yatab just means to be all right, meaning pleasing. All right, or glad. To do good. Right. That's right. To do right. Okay. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge. All right. To do good. All right. But the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. Then, you snapping, in a certain situation. Then, like I said, then you got cops coming through. You got Satan coming through. You know what I mean? Then you in some type of strait. And that's what we want to prevent. You know what I mean? We want to prevent any of the situations that can put us in a lower estate, okay, to the best of our ability. We do understand that we are going to go through chastisement. The Lord's going to put us to do these different positions of difficulty. But if we can prevent ourselves, all right, into just literally putting ourselves into a stupid situation by using wisdom, we'll do so. Not saying that you have free will or anything, all right, don't get it twisted. But, using wisdom, because you can just ignore it, just like, nah, man, I'm a king, me a king, and stuff like that. There's a lot of Jake, like I said, it gets super duper over righteous and stuff, and then they, like you said, they going about, looking crazy, and like I said, really gives us a bad image. All right, because the scriptures do talk about let me see, I'm gonna get this scripture real quick. Let me see if I can get this precept. It's yeah, this is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter. I'm gonna start at verse 1. 2 Corinthians 6:1. All right, which it reads. It says, "We then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that ye receive not the grace, or which is the knowledge." All right, okay, which that used to build you up, basically to be able to endure to salvation. Okay, which grace is defined, or charis. Again, which is the merciful kindness in which the Most High, exerting his holy influence, is flowing in, or nashima, upon souls, napashim, upon souls, which would be of the elect specifically, all right, that's going to hearken, turn them to Hamashiach, keeps, strengthens, increase them in the faith, the Hamashiach faith, the anointed one's faith, all right, knowledge, affections, and kindles them to exercise the Hamashiachian virtues, all right, what's right, okay. So so again, we then, as workers together with him, beseech you, or beg you also, that you receive not the grace or the knowledge of the power in vain. All right, I don't want to be empty. This knowledge is, of course, to be utilized. It's supposed to be used, okay, not put under a napkin and or you just, oh, I know the precept, but you don't actually activate the precept. It's not, you ain't using the wisdom then. All right, we have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, chakama, bayana, all right, which is wisdom. Chakama, knowledge is yadaith, all right, and understanding is bayan, all right, bayana, all right. We gotta use that, man. Okay, this is what gives subtlety to the simple, all right. Shrewdness to be able to walk right, you know what I mean, to get out of situations, all right, and it make you on a high level, like I said, to be able to do this. Like it's like I said, you like on some, like I feel definitely, as we say, we are ambassadors for Yahweh Shai. I definitely feel like that, I'm coming on behalf of Yahweh Shai, and I'm acting as how Yahweh Shai would act by using his words, which he come in the volume of the book. Okay, so this is verse 2. It says, "For he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation. Or in that, it's okay, let me read that again. For he has said, I have heard thee in the time accepted. I believe this might go to Psalm 6. I think the precept, I have it in the Hebrew. It might be Psalm 69 and like 12 or something. I'm going to check in the conferences. I'm going to read it, but then I'm going to see if it's there. I have heard thee in a time accepted. In the day of salvation have I succored thee, or helped thee. All right, or let me see. Izar, all right, which is help. Ka is thee. All right. Now let me just check in that cross references real briefly. No, that's not what I'm thinking. They have other precepts though, but I'm gonna keep reading though. It says, help thee, behold, now is the acceptable time, behold, now is the day of salvation. Okay? In which we're in that time of the salvation of Yahushua coming back. You know, we're in the last days and such. Alright, the last bits of it. So, us knowing that, we have to know to be vigilant, being very circumspect, you know, because the times are evil. Alright? You don't want to just put yourself in worse times amongst the evil time. Alright? It says, verse 3, giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. Okay, so we don't want to give offense in anything. So then, all right, I done made an offense, which just basically a error, right? Stumble, you know, stumbled, you know, you done all of a sudden, all right, you know, you got, you just say, speaking hypothetically, I'm sitting there just cuss this chick out, and then, you know what I mean, like, just anything happened, then Esau, like I said, anything happened, then they use that as ammunition. Oh yeah, you know this guy's really in the hate group, you know, something like that, you know. You know, of course, what he want to do. He want to lay charges on us, but who would lay charges onto the elect? All right, one of the good reasons why, you know, how we be blameless is because of us and our good behavior. All right, as David, you know, he, of course, behaved wisely. This is 1 Samuel 18 and 14. And it says, and David behaved himself wisely in all his ways, and Yahweh was with him. So, you know, we want the Lord to be with us, you know, and that's by doing the right things, because he will be pleased with us. All right, as you know, the scriptures tell you that when a man's when the ways of a man basically please the Lord, he make even his enemies be at peace with him. So that's what we want. We don't want to have to do things that's pleasing to the Lord, so that he actually make, or the different spirits actually calm down, you know, and work towards, you know, us, work for us, basically. You know. Yeah, I'm with him. Yahweh, I'm all right. That's basically in Yahweh, right? Is in Yahweh is the Most High's name, and you have I'm which is with him. All right, which when you read it all together, it says Yaha Ya. All right, and so it says Haya, which is just going into and. I think that means be. I'm gonna double check. Yeah, to be, right? Haya Dawada, all right. David La call is to all right. And it says Darakwa, which is Darak's ways was his. Ma Shakal Ma Shakayal, all right, which Shakal being pertaining to all, talking about prudence, okay? Because you know what's going on around you, all right? Circumspect, all right? You giving attention to everything, all right? And that's what you have to do. Wherefore, when Saul, verse 15, 1 Samuel 18 and 15, it says, wherefore, when Saul saw that he behaved wisely, very wisely, he was afraid of him. And that's it. That's what you got to understand. Which, like I said, Saul would do all type of things, throw stuff at David, try to, you know what I mean, always pursuing him and stuff. But David was always acting wisely in his behavior and doing what's right. You know what I mean? You know, doing things decently in order and such. All right, so it actually made him afraid. All right, or fear, which that goes into a form of reverence, if I'm not mistaken. Afraid, which you got this Hebrew word here is gawar. All right, ma'ad, which is very, and you got gawar, which is basically to seek hostility with. Or to assemble oneself, to stand in awe, also means to fear. All right, somebody be like, damn, man, you know, because like I say, when I see like pretty much like I believe like with the chick and a lot of people, they more so expect you to act as everybody else would. If you have a problem, you resort to some type of carnality. Or something outside of the wisdom. Just snap out, oh, yo, man, you know, mother F, you know what I mean? You know what it, you know, and snapping out. No, we're not doing that, okay? So it makes them gawar or stand in awe. They be literally in shock, all right? And it does make them afraid because it's like, kind of like you're figuring out because they're in perplexity or confusion, okay? Because like I say, people don't normally act like that. When they have an issue, they ready to snap out. They're ready to like basically throw heat to the fire and such, you know, only to, like I said, stir up more wrath. Okay, so this is why, you know, this is a very good lesson, you know, because we can learn from our forefathers. All right, as the scriptures say in Job 8 and 8, you know, we're supposed to, as they say, Ayawab or Job 8 and 8. It reads, it says, for inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. That's right. So, you know, we're supposed to, you know, seek into the former age, you know, see how, or, you know, in the ancient world, how our forefathers conducted themselves and they were delivered from doing the right things. All right, learn from different mistakes, etc. Okay, this is what we're supposed to do. Okay, and it says, but all Israel and Judah loved David because he went out and came in before them. All right, beautiful. All right, so, you know, this is real nice. So a real Tawah, or Rob Tawah, much good. All right, so this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, back to that, and verse 16. A wise man feareth and departeth from evil. All right, yeah, you know, like even the other day I was seeing this one dude at the job. He got this issue with this chick. He's sitting there, he was like kind of hiding, because I think like it seemed like the chick was waiting with her man outside with the car. You know, and he was like seeing like if they don't kind of do something. So he waited pretty much until they kind of like left, or that's basically what he was doing and stuff. I'm just like seeing why this Benjamite hanging around and tarrying and such, and he's just like, he'll give me a will, you know, a ride home, or a cub, or a drive, and or a chariot, you know, that's rakub in Hebrew, a will, you know, but yeah, so, you know, I'm like, well, you know, he acted was scary and stuff, and I just darted off out eventually, You know, like I was going home, and then, you know, eventually, I guess he, on his end, he ended up, you know, whatever, doing his, I call it 100 fake out. You know what I mean? Basically, it's just like deceptive, using prudence, deceptive, you know, to get yourself out of situations. If you don't want to walk into a trap. So if you could tarry around and stuff, you know, and trick what people assume that you're gonna do, but don't do it. You know, it really, just said, there was a wrench in their minds and such. And that's, like I said, that's high level, all right, prudence. Okay, that's what we want to do. You know, we want to be on a higher level, which we are, you know what I mean, in the spirit power Yahweh by using his ways, all right, not of this world, all right. So that's why you got to use this this wisdom from the heavens, okay, while you're here on earth, okay, you know what I mean, this instruction, okay. So now going back, it says, I want to read that again. A wise man feareth and departeth from evil, man. You know, you leave from it, like, which that's what Yahweh Shai would do. You know what I mean? There'd be times when the different scribes, Pharisees try to actually want to lay hands on him, or you just get hot. Yahweh Shai, he done got out of there. You know, as it's worded in different ways in the scriptures. Like, see, you use spiritual power a certain way to get up out of there, you know? And you got to know when to be in and when to be out, all right? You know? Because, like I said, it's prudence, you know, to retreat in its perfect season, its perfect time, ith, all right? The thumb, ith, all right? Perfect time, all right? You have to know how to do this, especially in Yaquab Tazarah, Jacob Trouble. You'll be in all different sorts of situations where you're gonna have to, you know, play like I like it. I think it's called, they call it playing coy or something like that. I play like, or playing possum, like you're dead or something like that. Coy, which is making a pretense of shyness or modesty that is intended to be alluring. Let me see, reluctant to give details about something, or quiet and reserved or shy. Yeah, you know what I mean? But basically, like, I'm not going to be acting, like I said, acting like a damn lion and stuff. You know, I use it as a way just to basically be able to not draw too much attention to myself. All right? And that's what you got to do. You know, you don't want all this attention on you. You already got you looking and listening, and you want us to catch us slipping and stuff like that. But like I say, ain't nobody gonna be able to lay charge to the very elect. You know, we justifying our doings by doing the right things. All right, and like I say, we always being watched. You know, even by the angels. You know what I mean? Being made a spectacle unto men, to angels. All right, let me see what that. Let me get that one. I don't know if I can spec. I don't know how to spell that word. It's like, yeah, I think I do, but spectacle. Yeah, I got it. The way I push it shot. So it says, because the spirit or strengthen our memory. So it says, 1 Corinthians 4:9, it says, for I think that the Most High has sent forth us the apostles last, are ones that sent out, all right, or shalayach in Hebrew, all right, as it were appointed to Mawather death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and unto angels, and to men, man. So, you know, we are made a spectacle unto the world. Let's see, of course, what world is that talking about? Of course, it is in the cosmos, all right? Okay. In this case, all right, the aggregate of things earthly, all right. And to angels, like, you know what I mean? The world of Israel. I mean, to angels, of course. You know, angels seeing what we do, all right. Like I said, you got left hand and right hand side angels is looking. All right. And to men, just regular men. All right. a yashim, right? Okay, human beings, whether male or female, all right, or you know what I mean. Well, not even a yashim, but yeah, you know what I mean. Everybody looking, all right. Especially, like I say, especially with us, and it's like that's why, you know, people be marveling at us and stuff like that. It's the spirit, man. They marveling at us and stuff. You know what I mean? It's, they said we're not acting as these low-level niggards and such. You know what I mean? Destitute of wisdom, and you know, we're not acting as thugs, nothing like that. Like it's so puzzling to these people, and it's like, you know what I mean, that you know they're trying to pretty much kind of like point us to being these, you know, these different stereotypes and different titles that they wanted to give us, but you know, we're being not of that. We're being of the sort of the elect. You know, the best rule, man. Aristocrats. This is how the aristocrats handle themselves, by using wisdom, man. Okay. You know, you know, I see kings don't. They be all cool and stuff, man. People within the nobility, they be cool. All right. Which the quar is the Hebrew word for cool. All right. You temperate, have self-government. So it says now, verse. I'm going to finish that off, verse 14 and 16. A wise man feareth and departed from evil, but the fool rageth and is confident. All right? You know, and hey, I wouldn't be confident in a plain way and stuff like that, only to get destroyed. You know what I mean? Because you could think, as you go in verse 12, there's a way that seems right unto man, but the end thereof are the ways unto death. You think you'll be right and end up leading to the demise, destruction. All right? So going down, it says, verse 17, he that is soon angry dealeth foolishly. All right, so this means you're going to have to know to be slow to anger. All right, instead of being a ball or fool. And a man of wicked devices, of wicked thoughts, imagination is hated. And look how Esau is hated. All right, or you might be, you know what I mean, scheming on something. And like I say, people know, oh, he's scheming. I know what he did. Like this dude, my actual employment, dude was scheming on somebody. Nobody even liked the guy. Like, you know what I mean? Because they know how he get it, what he get into. He just basically get into mischief. So of course, he's not going to be liked. You know what I mean? So, let me see. Where else I got? You know what I mean? I pretty much done made the point that I wanted to make. You know what I mean? You know, death and life is in the power of the tongue, you know, so we got to know what we do say, you know what I mean, with people, you know what I mean? You know, people listen, they remember things you say, you know, so, you know, we have to just be mindful of everything we do, being circumspect, man, you know, being vigilant, you know. Let me get some of them little precepts, you know, I didn't mean the lesson to go this long, but I did want to go do something to the spirit, you know what I mean, because, you know, like a lot of times I do a lot of lessons. You don't see, you know, you see you basically on the studio, on the computer, the actual screen capture. You know, a lot of times, like the scriptures say, how your eyes shall see your teachers. You know what I mean? So it's always good, you know, brothers. You know, you do these videos and you actually see who you actually hearing. You know what I mean? Give another element, you know, to you know, the whole teaching and stuff like that. All right. So, or give a face to the mouth, you know what I mean? The image to it. So, which we bear in the image of Yahushua Mashiach. All right, best our ability. So, let's see, what was the precept I wanted to get? Dang, I done lost the damn man my train of thought. Vigilant or circumspect? Vigilant. So, we got a couple ones. We got, this is 1 Timothy 3:2. It says a bishop or overseer then must be blameless, the husband of one wife. All right, being of course, you know, so you can, you know, yeah, not saying you can't have multiples, but you know, you keep yourself, you know, your eyes more focused. You know what I mean? You know, having a lot of course, women, you gotta spend a lot of time with them. You know, that's what they require pretty much. You know what I mean? But we want to give our strength onto the ministry, especially if you're overseeing it, right? So it says, be sober, in your right mind, all right, of good behavior, right? Again, good conduct, good behavior, knowing how to act, giving to hospitality, and apt to teach, ready to teach. 1 Peter 5:8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, your enemy, or Shaitan, okay, the devil, all right, as a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour, all right, destroy you, okay, gobble you up, and easy, you just act stupid, be on bad behavior outside of the scriptures, perverse behavior, and then you get yourself in the street. You know what I mean? So we don't want to do that. So that's the lesson through the Spirit. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bashem El Shai, Bashem Kakadash, Brakti Yahweh, Brakti El Shai, Brakti Yahweh, Brakti El Shai, Call Yahweh, Allahayna Yahweh, Bashem El Shai, Bashem Kakadash, Allah Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. All right, which I already uttered in Hebrew and converted to the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and bless you, the Son, name of the only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, name of the Holy Spirit. All right. All praises and glory to our power, Yahweh Shema Shai, and praise Yahweh and the Son, Yahweh Shai. All right. Now, if you want to do another one to say, you can get this Jeremiah 10:6. Ma'ayan Kamawak, Yahweh Godwalla, Athag wa Godwalla Shabka, Ba Gabawara. All right, which that means, for as much as there is none like unto thee, O Yahweh, thou art great, thy name is great in might. All right, which you can see that on the screen right there. All right, and you could, it's another, giving praises, to the Lord, because that's what we're supposed to do. All right, as Hebrew Israelites, that's what our whole thing is, praising Yahweh Shem Yashai, keeping commandments. That's our duty, man. So shalom until next time. Hopefully, like you say, you can use this, definitely use this in your walk, in this very troublesome, trying times. All right, shalom.